Hi YouTubers, it's Diane in Tucson doing an update on day number 2 or day number 1 after surgery, however you want to look at it. If you saw my video from 3 o'clock this morning, you might be a little concerned with me. Wasn't very happy, couldn't sleep, was getting sick. I'll go into that in a little bit, but today's better. And so I wanted to go over a few things that I've been dealing with, some interesting feelings, some updates on some things that I've had that I tried that maybe could help you. So first thing first, went into the surgery, and when I woke up, I had the shakes really bad right when I woke up out of surgery. And they gave me, I think, morphine to calm that down. They were really it was kind of creepy how uncontrollable they were. And then I noticed when Dr. Stewart called me, so my surgery was at 10 o'clock in the morning. Got home around 2:30 or 3. And Dr. Stewart called me about 5:30. That I noticed that my right thigh, on the top of my right thigh, was numb. Everything else was back, but just that. And he said that was normal, very common for anesthesia to wear off slower or quicker at different parts of your body. So if you have that, don't panic about that. I don't really have any tightness per se in my stomach, just because I think of the way that they did the surgery on me, this umbilical relocation. So I do have swelling and that kind of thing, but my tummy doesn't feel tight like I've seen some of the other women talk about in their videos. When I woke up, they had this really fun thing around here, but they also had a bandage, an ACE bandage around my chest. That was really tight and really uncomfortable. And when he took that off this morning, it was a big relief. So that was tight, and it was hard to get a really deep breath. That was a little difficult. And they also put me in a compression garment that it's one piece. It comes all the way up to here. As you can see, this is my sports bra. So it's all one piece. And then it comes down to your kind of like granny panties. They come right there, and it has a zipper on the side. And then there's little hook and eyes down at the crotch area, so you can go to the bathroom. I also have really pretty compression hose that are kind of like thigh highs. And they go all the way down, and they actually wrap around your ankles. So my suggestion to you is, if you have these and you have tile floors, you might want to take those and roll them up so that your feet you don't have them on your feet, because they're pretty slippery. And we have tile floors here, so I was worried about slipping. So every time I got up to go to the bathroom, we had to roll those up. But if you have carpet, maybe it wouldn't be an issue. So the big thing is I rented a recliner from a furniture rental place here in Tucson, and I wanted one that was one of those auto lifts, so it lifts you up almost all the way up into a standing position. The one I could find at the time, because the first rental company kind of screwed with me a little bit, so I had to do something very quickly about 2 days before, was an older version. And when it lays flat, there's a gap right where your butt sits. So because the chair top and the chair bottom connect, and they're two different pieces. So I think what I have is an older version, and there's a gap there. Like I said, I haven't seen all of them, but that made it really uncomfortable to sleep. Just sitting in that position for a long period of time was very difficult, and we ended up shoving towels down there to kind of create some lumbar support for my back. It was a real challenge. I'm not a back sleeper. I'm a side sleeper. So I knew that this was going to be difficult, but this chair made it more difficult than I expected it to be. I really thought that that was going to be like a saving grace, and it was getting up and in and out of the chair, but sleeping was a little difficult. I got into the bed this morning or this afternoon, and that made a huge difference. Being in the bed with just some pillows and just comfortable on your tush, because that whole back and tush area, if it's it got really sore for me. Let's see. Okay, so we used an alarm clock on our phones to set a time for me to take my medication. So I would tell you to let whoever's going to be caring for you, that their challenges in sleep might be just as difficult as yours, because they're up just as much as you are. So that was that was kind of tough. And so there wasn't a lot of sleep to be had last night by either one of us. And then I think that the Percocet I was taking, or am taking, kind of kept me from sleeping. So I today called in, after my follow-up appointment, I called in and asked them if I could take some diphenhydramine for sleeping, and she said it was okay. So by all means, check with your own doctor and make sure it's going to be okay in your case, depending on what you're taking. So always ask a doctor, but it worked for me. I took a small 25 milligram pill this afternoon and got some really good sleep. So that could help you out. So a couple things. Eating was a really big chore for me yesterday. My mouth was really dry coming out of surgery. So everything, my boyfriend made me chicken and some broccoli and avocados and stuff, but it was just such a chore because my mouth was so dry. It was really hard. And then I also, every time I got up from the chair to go to the bathroom, I was getting sick, and that was horrible. Vomiting does not feel good at all. Cried a couple of times. It was very painful, and a lot of just not sleeping, being sick last night. It was a challenge. Last night was a serious challenge. So a couple things that I would suggest that I have not seen, I think, in other videos. One is have some Pedialyte on hand. That will help you replenish electrolytes, which of course I didn't do until today, but because I don't know if I would have kept it down yesterday, but we got that today. And then these really great little bendy straws like this, because when you're sitting in a chair or halfway laying in a bed, it will make it easier than to try to tip a glass back. So bendy straws, big thing. And then my doctor gave me these that were actually, I think were originally for using for the drains, but these helped a great deal when I got sick. They're really light, so I kind of carried these with me, and they helped a great deal. So if you don't have something like this, but maybe have some sort of container, if you have any kind of history about getting sick from anesthesia, it'll help you. Just keep something available, because you just don't know when it's going to happen. So my mobility from yesterday to today is drastic. Yesterday was just really challenged, but today, I think once that the sickness that my doctor thinks was from the anesthesia, not necessarily from the Percocet that I was taking, once that passed, and all of that was out of my system, I think I really made a change, a turn, and I'm moving much better, going to the restroom on my own, unclipping the little hook and eyes that are down at the crotch area of this compression garment, and so really doing a lot of things on my own, which is kind of nice. So I would suggest getting up and moving as quickly as you can, even if it's just to take a lap around the living room. I know that it can be tough and challenging, but it will help a great deal if you are up and moving as soon as possible. And I think that's it. I think of anything else, I'll put it in the video for tomorrow. Anyway, so day 1, I guess if I had to wrap it up, day 1 sucked. Day 2, not so bad. So that would be my, those are my cliff notes. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please leave them, and I'll answer them when I can. Like I said, I'm still kind of figuring all this stuff out. So anyway, I'm rambling on. Just real quick, I have my little cute little drains here. They look like Christmas ornaments, I think. We did drain them once yesterday, and the doctor thought that was pretty good, that they're showing clear of liquids already. So he thinks that I might even get those out next Monday, which is my next appointment. So that makes me happy. Anyway, I will chat with you tomorrow. Have a great day.